Church. We know it's not just a show, but it is the great performance of our whole lives as disciples of Jesus before a watching world and universe. And it takes some putting together.
Thank God he hasn't just left us to do it on our own. He's given us his Spirit. He's given us the guidelines. He's demonstrated the principles, and Jesus promised that he will build his church.
Our job is to follow those principles and join in with what he is already doing, naturally.
We are to let the light of God shine through us. And sure, we each refract it a little differently.
But every one of us shows something of the light and character of God as we live and work out our faith in him, both on our own and together as the whole body of believers, the church.
As we show off the refracted God colours in our lives, we want to be doing naturally what God has placed in us and applying the principles he sets out for the natural development of his church. Following those unforced rhythms of grace, because Jesus said, "My yoke is easy and my burden is light."
So why would we want to try and build the church under our own steam when his divine power has given us everything needed for life and godliness through the knowledge of him who called us by his own glory and goodness? Thus, he's given us through these things his precious and very great promises.
Imagine if everyone had just turned up today and started doing whatever they wanted. It would be chaos. Everything would take far longer than it should. And to be perfectly honest, what needs doing might never get done, and certainly not in the time frame needed.
There needs to be effective structures in place that enable us to get on with doing the job well. Without those, no matter that all the skills and gifts are on hand, the end outcome will be far from what is intended or desired.
Which raises another question. What if the team suddenly found themselves doing the wrong jobs? The lighting engineer having to do the sound mixer's job and vice versa? Or the director doing the roadie's job and the roadie's doing the catering? Yet that's what happens so often in church when we get people to do jobs without thinking about their gifts.
It's frustrating for everyone involved, and again the results are far less than they could and should be. Doing ministry based on our gifts is essential for effective growth and development of the church as a whole and ourselves as individual believers.
God has placed all different kinds of gifts into the body, and we need to use them well.
As we do that, and as we value what we each bring to the table, so it helps build up our sense of community and the loving relationships that are fundamental to anybody that seeks to own the name of Jesus.
We value each other's contribution, and more than that, we value and love each other, because God values and loves each one of us first.
As we get to know each other better, we start to share life together with a few others. We find ourselves in those smaller groups where we share our joys and our concerns. We support and strengthen each other and find ourselves affirmed and encouraged in our walk with God and each other.
All by itself, we're beginning to see things happening and growth and development coming that far exceeds what we can achieve by ourselves and in our own strength.
God is bringing life and health and growth. He is releasing his energy in and through us, and our passion for him is spurred on.
We want to know the God we're doing this with, and for more. We understand better why we're doing it, and we experience his guidance in our lives more and more.
As that passion within us grows, we know this is not just for us. There are so many others whose needs we know, and so we direct our efforts to them with something relevant to where they are right now.
Giving them the attention that's due so they understand there's a place of community and love where they can be welcome and grow into the fullness of life that they want and God intends.
A place where they too can come to refract the God light that shines through them.
And when we blend those God colours together, suddenly we see that the light of God shining through all of us shows his glory and holiness.
That's what God intends to be going on in his people. Naturally, if you want to come on that exciting natural church development journey with us, get in touch at the email address below.